Sewing the top of the bag isn't difficult, but it does require you to pay attention to where all of the pieces and parts are at. If I were just to put this in here the way it is now, I might accidentally sew my handles down, or I might sew the bag together. I don't want any of that. So what I'm going to do is separate the layers, keeping my handles out of the way. I don't want them inside the bag anymore. I want them outside, almost like I'm ready to pick it up and go shopping. Now we're going to need to stitch all around this top edge. To do that, we're going to stitch in this whole circle. So I'm going to push the handles of one side under the presser foot. I'm going to find my starting place, which for me, I like to start at a seam because it tends to not show as much. So that side seam where we put those two seams together when we were sewing, that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to let my presser foot down to hold my fabric, and then I'm adjusting it a little bit. This kind of sewing, you have to do a lot of adjusting. That's okay. Take your time. Stop, adjust your fabric, make sure you're going in the direction you want to go and everything is out of the way, and then keep sewing. I'm going to slow it down, reverse stitch. This is where it's super important to keep your fabric lined up as it's going into the side of the presser foot. That will create a very straight seam. Now here comes my handle. I'm keeping it out of the way. I may be sewing through those layers, but I don't want to sew through the finished handle. Now it feels like I'm coming to the end. I can't move my fabric really anymore. I'm running out of space here, so I stopped my sewing. I left the presser foot down so it's holding everything in place, and I'm moving the bag towards me. And look, I just gained a whole bunch more of sewing space. I can push the other side of the bag out of the way, keep my handles out of the way, and I'm ready to sew forward again. Always keeping an eye on that right side. I'm going to go around again, pushing that out of the way. It looks like I'm just about to get to the opposite side because here is my other seam. Just keep those handles out of the way and adjust your fabric as often as you need to keep going around. Now it's getting a little bit cumbersome for me. This handle is flopping around. I stopped. I don't want to accidentally sew over anything. I'm going to get everything out of the way, even though I only have about 1.5 inches left to meet my original mark. I just want everything to be nice and straight and flat. Reverse and cut. Now can you see what a nice little edging that made around the top? I'm actually going to make a second row all the way around, kind of as a little added decoration and kind of as a little added support. Now in order to do that, I've just put the bag right back into the machine, lowered my presser foot, except this time I'm going to watch right here. This is where the seam, the stitching line that I just made, I'm going to keep my eye right here so that this stitching line is constantly going to the right side of this presser foot. And I'm going to sew my second level or second layer of stitching for the top of the bag. And somehow the second row is easier. Is it because I have a guide right there in that stitch line? Maybe. Is it because my fabric is flatter and starting to get into shape because I'm sewing it into the shape that I want it to be? Maybe that's it. I don't know, but the second row is always faster and easier. And once again, I'm back to the beginning, and I like to just straighten everything out. If I mess up any place, it's probably going to be here because I've let the fabric get all bunchy. And if I get impatient and just sew over it, I'm going to sew all of those mistakes right into my bag. So I take the extra couple of seconds to just smooth it all out. And there we have it. We have got a double edge top stitch on our bag. We have one more thing to do before this is officially a perfect mini tote. So let's go over to the pressing cloth and figure out what comes next.